Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Free agency starts today at noon Eastern, but the Jets have already made a big move. They have acquired Minkah Fitzpatrick in a trade with the Miami Dolphins. We will break down the details of the deal and what it means going forward. Frankie Vitz from U Stadium's my guest. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish it could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Please hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. We got a lot to talk about. Free agency starting at noon Eastern today. We know the Jets have a lot of cap money, but guess what? They're already making a huge trade. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been traded to the New York Jets. The former Dolphin is now a Jet. The Jets are acquiring Minkah in a trade in exchange for a 2026 7th-round pick, according to multiple reports. They then will sign Minkah to a new 3-year deal for $40 million. So the Jets get a starting safety right before free agency gets underway. For more on the deal the Jets have made and what it means, we say hello to our guy, Frankie Vitz from U Stadium and the Gangs All Here podcast with the New York Post. Frankie, breaking news, the Jets have made their first notable move of the free agent period, and technically free agency has not even started yet.
Yes, they have obviously, Jake, have been planning this for a little bit, I would say, right? So this has been a move some people have speculated was going to happen. The Jets obviously need help at safety. They want someone that's a little bit of a ball hawk, someone to help some of those young guys back there. The move makes a lot of sense. I mean, we barely gave up nothing for him. And it's not like Minkah's that old either. I mean, he's 29. He's going to be 30 in November. So he's still got some ball in him. Last year, he was a top 10 safety in terms of PFF ranking, if anyone wants to go on that standard. But he had an 81.8 grade I looked up. Early in his career, he's making interceptions all over the place. He's forcing fumbles. That's the kind of guy they need, man. They need someone that at least is going to maybe – give some of those young guys back there a little bit of ideas and thoughts as to how to get their hands on the football. We didn't have an interception last year. So for all the right reasons, he makes sense. And if he doesn't work out, you only gave up a 7th rounder.
And let's see the full details of the contract that the Jets have signed him for. Never overreact to any contracts that get tweeted out over these next few days, because it's all coming from the agent that want to make themselves and the client look good. So they say the highest possible number. All that matters is how much of the money is guaranteed. And we'll find out. But from just a sheer value standpoint, I love this from a Jet perspective. I think Darren Muji did a great job with this, because if you're the Jets and you know you need so many different things in free agency, getting a guy for just a 7th-round pick that you know is still a solid football player, there's nothing wrong with that move. And let's think about it, right? The Jets hired Brian Duker as their defensive coordinator, even though we know Glenn will call the plays. Duker was in Miami with Minkah Fitzpatrick. They also hired one of the Slowick brothers to their coaching staff. He was the defensive back coach for Minkah Fitzpatrick. And I texted around with some people that cover the Dolphins, and the feedback I got with Minkah is that he's still a very good player, a great veteran leader, and they needed some leadership in that room. Minkah's a guy who could help be the play caller of the secondary. So this, to me, is a really good move. I give credit to Muji for getting this done for just a 7th-round pick. The Jets used the Chargers' 7th-round pick to get this done. I think that was the Jasir Taylor trade that they made. So I just think from a value standpoint, from a process standpoint, there's a lot to like with this move. Minkah's still a very good safety. And to your point on PFF rankings, he finished with the 9th best coverage grade and 17th best run grade. He was the 7th highest graded safety, according to Pro Football Focus. He had an 81.8 grade. So for a 7th round pick and then a 3-year extension, that's probably closer to about a 2 when it's all said and done. For a guy who's still just 29, it's not like he's old. I think you really like this deal from all aspects if you're a Jet fan.
Yeah, man. And someone that I think we need to give support to in that D-back room, and someone who had a little bit of an underrated year, we don't talk about him enough, is Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore had over 100 tackles last year as a rookie. I mean, yeah, he was a little bit out of position at times, and there's something to be desired there, I guess. But out of Alabama, Malachi Moore could play ball, man. And the one thing that he struggled at, and he didn't do last year, I mean, he did actually force a fumble, but he didn't get an interception. Obviously, nobody did. And you want your safeties to learn how to react and how to read the quarterback size and how to get, be a little heady about things. Minkah Fitzpatrick in that room, you think he's not going to drop some knowledge to Malachi Moore? Somebody we should really start investing in, not only in himself from a coaching perspective, but you want to surround them with players that know what the hell they're doing. We have one of the youngest teams in football, the second youngest team in football, actually, on paper. You want to bring in a few vets. They said they wanted to bring in some vet leaders that can come in there and direct traffic and help these guys understand what's going on. Minkah Fitzpatrick fits that build. I think it's a good way to sort of start free agency. And I think Darren Muji, he might be better than some people think. I know around the league he's got a better name than Aaron Glenn, but maybe we got a really good GM on our hands. Maybe.
Yeah, I think Muji has been really good in this aspect of the job. He's been really good with these, late day 3 picks and turning them into veterans who are solid. By the way, one update on this trade here, because I misspoke. I referred to Jasir Taylor as how the Jets acquired this pick. So this pick was actually sent to the Jets in the Jarvis Brownlee deal. So the Jets essentially were able to take a 6th round pick and turn it into Jarvis Brownlee and now Minkah Fitzpatrick. And yes, the Jets are giving Minkah a new contract here. But again, we'll see the final details of the contract when push comes to shove. But I think if you're a Jet fan, I think you got to be ecstatic with just the thought process and the execution here from a trade perspective. You have at least now one starting safety going into free agency. And by the way, don't be surprised if Ashton Davis is brought back on a lower tier type of deal. Another connection with the Miami Dolphin coaches that Aaron Glenn hired to run his defense with him this year. So perhaps Ashton Davis, who's the last Jet to have an interception in 2024 in that final game against Miami, perhaps the Jets need to bring him back to end this interception streak. But Minkah's still a good player. Again, 9th best coverage grade and 17th best run grade, according to PFF. Checked in with people who watched every game that cover the Dolphins, said he's still a good player. I don't think there's any downside to this move that the Jets have made.
Yeah, and the other thing about this move that I like, just thinking about it from the outside, I just like that Darren Muji got the deal done and got it done without having to really overpay. It seems like Darren Muji hasn't overpaid for anything he's done thus far. Actually, teams seem to be overpaying us, which is nice for once in a, for once in a blue moon, that we're getting better value, it seems like, on all these deals over the last couple of years. With Muji now a year and a half in. So I like what I'm seeing so far. I think there's a lot more work they need to do. I don't think the safety room is per se fixed at this point, or they're done operating those channels to try to address safety. But Minkah definitely gives you some value there as a leader. And I think this team lacks leadership. I really do. Somebody brought it up in the chat, and they're right. Yeah, Minkah is also an Alabama product. So you get Malachi Moore, Alabama kid. You bring in an OG from Alabama. You got to help out Malachi Moore. You don't get over 100 tackles as a rookie by accident, but you got to keep developing that kid, because 101 tackles as a rookie could become 120 by year 3 or 4. If you teach him how to get some interceptions, you're talking about one of the better safeties in the AFC if you're able to put up those kind of stats and do those kind of things. So this is a good move.
100%. 3 years, $40 million. If you just look at the sheer AAV of the contract, it's like $13.3 million. But again, with any contract, I'll say it all throughout the next couple of days when we're live reacting to moves the Jets are making. It's all about the guarantee numbers and how much of these contracts are structured. But just looking at it from a surface value, this to me makes a lot of sense. They needed leaders. The biggest thing for the Jets, beyond just improving the talent, they need some veteran leadership. And Minkah is a guy that would fill that need. I'd be interested to see, are they going to sign a veteran leader like Alex Anzalone now for the linebacker room? Is Demario Davis truly in play? He might be 37, but he's still playing at a very high level. Would you give him an opportunity to have a third stint with the Jets and bring in a leader who could be, the green dot for your defense? So I like the move. Again, Aaron Glenn's trying to save his job. Someone texted me, well, why would the Jets be interested in a player who might not be here by the time they're any good? And I go, well, the coach is not looking at it that way. He's just trying to win games to be here for them to take their swing at quarterback in all likelihood in 2027. So at least as we enter free agency now, which is just about 2 hours away from getting underway, going in, Frankie, you got one of your safeties in place with Malachi Moore, and I still think they should look to sign a safety in what is a robust safety market when push comes to shove starting at noon today.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. The one thing I wonder, and I always wondered this about Minkah Fitzpatrick, I always wondered, he was drafted by Miami, then he went to Pittsburgh, then he went back to Miami. I always wonder, why did he leave Pittsburgh? Because he was playing pretty well in Pittsburgh for the most part. And I think we have to, with Minkah Fitzpatrick, we have to, I think, a little bit temper our expectations with him. And what I mean by that is he'll be out of position on some plays. He'll give up a deep ball on some other plays, right? It's the turnover things that he does that we need to value at One Jets Drive. And as Jet fans, that we have to look at. He's not always going to be in the best position, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and I think that's why he's bounced around a little bit. But it's the big plays that he makes. He's had years with 6 interceptions. He's followed that with years with 4 interceptions, with 2 forced fumbles. That's the kind of stuff he's going to bring here. The deal's pretty rich, but we have the money and the cap's going up. So, and you didn't give up a lot of draft capital for that. So, I mean, starting off the week, it's a move that does make sense. But let's not pretend like we're getting, Ed Reed here, because even though we did get Ed Reed later in his career, and that didn't really work out so hot. But
you got the corpse of Ed Reed. There's a difference.
Yes. Minkah's still, he's not even 30 yet, so.
He's a good player, man. He really is. It's a good move by the Mooge. Darren Muji. Yeah, the Mooge man. And look, here's the thing with Muji. He has now made deals to acquire Minkah, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, and Jarvis Brownlee. And guess what? You know what the most the Jets gave up for any of those players, Frankie? You know what draft capital was the most? A 6th. That's it. They never traded more than a 6th to get good players. And Phillips, Briggs, who was probably like the one true ascending young player that got better under this coaching staff a year ago. And Brownlee, yes, he got hurt. Yes, the penalties remain a problem, but he flashed some toughness and potential. He's the one who created the only turnover that the Jets have had up until that point in the London game. I think there's a lot of questions with the head coach. He looked inept and in over his head in his first year, but the GM hasn't. I think we might have a real general manager in Darren Muji.
I think so too, man. I do. I always like those guys too, that they played the game, but they almost weren't that good at playing the game. They kind of understand what it means to, I guess, struggle or not make it, I think Muji has some of that. He was a former quarterback. He knows a lot about football. I always feel like those kind of GMs and coaches are always the best kind of ones, not the ones that were great that just kind of figured everything out. Kind of takes a little bit more to understand what it means to struggle in the game. And I think Muji has that. Every move he's made so far, besides for the Fields move, I've been somewhat of a fan of. Like, it's made sense. The field moves didn't make sense. But everything else he's done, he understands value. And I think, safety and defensive tackle are 2 positions you almost rather not invest too much capital in come draft day. You don't want to draft a defensive tackle or safety that high usually. And I like that he's addressed those spots without having to use up, high draft capital. And Jake, we don't need to go into free agency and spend that much money. We have 2 first-round picks. We have 33 and 44. Like, we don't need to go in and spend like drunken sailors to fix this roster. If you're able to do something like this and bring in a safety without having to use a draft pick on that position, and then with Tavondre Sweat, we did the same thing with defensive tackle. You're starting to see that this guy seems to get it to a degree. And that's encouraging because the Jets have a really, really important week ahead of them, but they have a really important offseason to kind of set up the future for this team. But yeah, good move to start off. I mean, I've always liked Minkah Fitzpatrick. I like safeties that just make plays. Yeah, they may be out of position at times, but they make plays in the football. You can't substitute for those kind of things.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Make sure, Jet fans, you are subscribed to this channel. You won't find more live and instant reaction coverage than what you'll get on this channel over the next week. We're at 44,532 subscribers, so thank you to everyone for their support there. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and we're going to be live breaking down all the Jets moves that they could start making at noon in free agency. But Mood's not wasting any time swinging a huge deal before the legal tampering period gets underway. Some super chats here. Will be joined by some guests on this stream as well. I reached out to some people that you know very well on this channel so we could get their thoughts on the deal. Doug with our first super chat. He says, I'd much rather give Minkah 40 than overpay a free agent. And the true value of Minkah's contract, Doug, we don't know just yet. I doubt it's 3 years and $40 million fully guaranteed. My guess is it's probably around a 2-year extension, and some of the money for the first 2 years is likely guaranteed. So I expect Minkah to be a Jet for the next 2 years. Mike Dorama with a super chat. He joins our weekly raffle for 2. For those who are tuning in for the first time this week, on Friday, we're going to raffle away a signed Joe Namath helmet, a signed Joe Klecko helmet, and a signed Garrett Wilson helmet. So make sure you enter for your chance to win. Super chats and gifted memberships get you in the raffle. Mike says, which free agent safety that is available would have been a better value than what we're paying him? It's a fair point. There's some really good safeties. It's just a matter of what's the fit the Jets are looking for. They're looking for more of a strong safety, a free safety. How important is a safety in Glenn and Duker's defense? But it's a good safety class. Cam Curl got re-signed, but Kevin Byard's out there. No players got more interceptions than him since 2016 when he entered the league. Jalen Hawkins from the Pats, Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals, Kobe Bryant from the Seahawks. I like Nick Cross a lot from the Colts, Jaquan Brisker, the other safety in Chicago. There's some good safeties. I'd like to see the Jets sign at least one more.
Yeah. Geno Stone's pretty good too. Brian Cook. You got some guys out there. I think the way I would go about this is, and I like the Minkah move because the Jets looked at something that they struggled with, getting turnovers, and they addressed that by getting one of the best ball hawks in football, honestly. Kevin Byard makes sense too, Jake. I mean, if you want to really get some vet leaders in there, I know he's older too, so it may be a little bit odd to have 2 kind of older safeties back there. That's the name of the game today. If you can get interceptions, I don't care if you're 33 years old or 34. You can help this team win, and you can help this defense get some confidence in themselves and not feel like they're on the field every freaking snap, and finally get the offense back on the field. So, Byard's going to be 33. I like Jalen Hawkins. I've spoken about him on your show a bunch. I think you get like almost a 2-for-1 there because he can play safety and you're taking him away from New England. So it's like a double whammy. So I like him a bunch. And Kobe Bryant, I think, might be the best one on the market overall. And he has got the best name also, by the way. I would love that. I'm just talking about Kobe Bryant all the time. That's great. Seattle doesn't have that much money to kind of throw around this upcoming offseason. So he may actually be someone we're going to bring back. So, or we would bring in and they wouldn't bring back, obviously. So yeah, that's someone I'm looking at. I'm down getting another safety, man. You could play this game. You can put a safety as like a third safety in a nickel role, or someone that is good at stopping the run. When you want to take Minkah off the field, you can insert someone and sort of have Minkah on those longer passing downs, etc.
Ray Adams Jr. with the super chat. Thank you, Ray. Muji's been solid in my opinion. If the season goes sideways, I would think he'd be safe. We'll see how the draft goes. The draft and some of the other moves like this one will determine Muji's fate. Because again, I do see the path, and I talked about this with Rich Samini last week. For those who saw the interview, Muji's not a sidekick. That much has been clear, and people around the league have much better things to say about him than they do about Aaron Glenn. So let's see. Ray, thank you. Doc Jet fan checks in. Muji's been extremely creative, especially given that it's a real possibility that free agents are telling the Jets no thanks. Very well done. Agreed. The best strength for Muji has been these trades for day 3 picks, using them to acquire proven veteran commodities. Again, the Jets have now acquired Minkah Fitzpatrick, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, and Jarvis Brownlee, and they didn't give up more than a 6th-round pick for any of them. And Minkah Fitzpatrick was a 7th-round pick. That's all they gave up to get this guy. And they acquired the 7th-round pick in the deal that got them Brownlee for a 6th in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, Minkah Fitzpatrick, when he came out of Alabama, he was one of the top-rated safeties in years. I mean, he was an 11th overall pick. Minkah Fitzpatrick can play football. He's been playing football for a long time. He's been at the top of that, who's the best safety in football conversation for a little bit. So you can't substitute for experience and a guy who has just been at the top of his class now going on more than a decade. I'm down with it, man. I was all in the camp probably a few months ago of, the younger, the better. We're not going to be ready to win. Just go young all over the place. If you go too young sometimes, these guys don't know what the hell they're doing.
They need leadership.
You need leadership. You need guys that have done it. Proof is in the pudding. I mean, Nick Cross is good. I'd rather have Minkah Fitzpatrick. I get the allure with the guy who's 24, 25, but sometimes experience, man. Just get guys that know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, everyone's like, why would you want to win 5 or 6 games? Listen, this team's got to start winning football games eventually. How long are you not going to win games? Start setting yourself up with quality players that know what the hell they're doing, that get guys around them playing good football, good ball. These guys got to learn how to play good ball. That's just a fact. Malachi Moore is not going to become a better safety playing next to someone that doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, it's not going to help him. You got to help these guys out.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. The great Will Parkinson is about to join us. But first, let's open up voting for the first ASMANIAC Madness battle in the round of 64. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 1 overall seed is in action this morning. Kyle Clifton in the inside-outside region will take on the 16th seed, Cash Money Mike. If you're new to the show, it's easy. You vote in the YouTube poll that will pop up shortly on who you think should advance to the round of 32. But here we go. The 1 versus the 16. The first round of 64 battle is officially underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
Vote, vote, vote. And your vote determines who advances to the round of 32. This afternoon, whenever we're live, it could be pretty quick given what the Jets might do in free agency. So be checking the channel for updates there and the Discord for when I'll be going live. The 8-9 will feature Rob the Jet fan against Alan. Will Alan call in? Oh, yeah. Alan says he's retired from calling. We'll see if that holds up when he's up against Rob. With that, though, I want to get right back to the Minkah Fitzpatrick deal and some reaction from the trade. And we say hello to our good friend of the program, Will Parkinson, host of the Turn on the Jets pod. Will, the Jets have a new starting safety. Your reaction to Darren Muji's first, quote-unquote, big move of the legal tampering week window?
Struck my phone like a jackass. What's there not to like? He's still a very good player. He costs you nothing. He's better than probably anybody you were getting on the open market. He's a professional, knows the defense, raises your floor. There's not really much to not like. It's not an outrageous contract. He still was a really good player last year. He's a guy who's caused turnovers throughout his career. again, knows most of this defensive staff. I don't know. To me, like, what are you going to do with those 7th round pick? The Chargers 7th round pick, like, what were you drafting there? Like, at some point, the Jets just have to add like good, solid, professional players to this team to like, especially defensively, right? Like, if Frankie and Jake, we've talked about this a bunch. Like, are they going to fix the offense this year? Likely not, right? They're not going to probably have the quarterback to be able to fix it. Obviously, you can add talent. Hopefully, they add receiver talent and, make sure the offensive line's in a good spot. But the only way Glenn's keeping his job, and frankly, I think the only way Muji's keeping his job, is if they fix this defense to where they're really good on specials, they're a really solid defense, and they've got offensive talent. That's the only way they're saving their jobs, right? Realistically, because outside of the obvious, they win a bunch of games, right? Like, you have to put this roster in a good spot for whether it's a young quarterback this year, next year, whoever it is. So, dude, I don't know. Like, you were going to pay Brian Cook $16 million a year. Was he coming here? I don't know. Maybe they had interest, but that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to get him. The Jets basically sent the 7th round pick to cut the line for a really solid veteran who was a top 7 safety in football last year by every metric. Like, that's much better than Andre Sisco and Tony Adams and Jordan Whitehead. Like, that's what the reality. The floor is really low at safety, man. They have not had a good safety here since like really early days of Jamal and Marcus May. It's a long time ago.
And before Kerry Rhodes,
Yeah, Kerry Rhodes and Eric Coleman in 04, 05, man. Like,
Jim Leonard, baby.
Jim Leonard.
Yeah.
Plus Minkah's a local guy. It's a cool story, right? It's he's a local Jersey guy. I'm pretty sure I just said this we just did an emergency pod. I think it was my senior year. He was a sophomore or a junior, and he get all tri-state teams in like high school. It took the New York, Connecticut, and Jersey, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, this kid that me and my brothers are like trying to compete with going to Bama. And then, like, you watch throughout his career, you're like, okay, I'm nowhere close to this dude. He's so much better at football than me. But yeah, no, it's a cool story. And Minkah's a really good player.
Shout out to Jay, who super chatted us. He will be entered in the raffle. Minkah's from Old Bridge, New Jersey, coming home. Great move. Les writes in, fun fact, Minkah had more picks in 2025 than any Jet. So Minkah had 1, which, yes, is more than any Jet in 2025. You're not wrong. Will, what do you think it says about Muji? Because for all the issues I think this fan base rightfully has with the head coach, Darren Muji has now made trades to acquire Minkah, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, Jarvis Brownlee, and he didn't give up more than a 6th round pick for any of those players.
Yeah, we talked about this. I just said this to Joe, so I don't want to repeat myself, but I'm going to repeat myself anyways. The last time the Jets were – this is not saying the Jets all of a sudden are going to be a good team in 2026, but the last time the Jets were relevant and a solid NFL team and franchise, they drafted well, obviously, right? We all know that, and you have to sign well in free agency, but you have to use the trade market to your advantage. It means building out your roster. It doesn't mean you have to always get the star guy in the trade market. It's a lot of times it's building just professional starter level players, building depth. Like, they haven't – Muji's day 3 picks last year outside of Malachi Moore all look like they're probably not going to be on the team in 2026. Like, those guys it was like pretty bad, right? Like, we look at some of those picks, Barron and Kiko and Arian Smith and all these guys, like, not great. You know what I'd rather do than have a random Arian Smith pick or some random dude in the 6th round? I'd rather have Minkah Fitzpatrick or Jawan Briggs or guys with proven NFL tape. Those guys are more younger, and then Phillips and Minkah are like just floor-raising, professional, solid play. You know what you're getting week in, week out. They're going to cost you a little bit more money than those 6th or 7th round picks, man. But, like, here's the other thing, guys, and I think you'd probably agree here. Like, if you're a bad organization or a bad team, it's really hard to convince free agents without overpaying, right? That's the reality of it. Free agency, you always overpay anyways, but the Jets tax is real. We know that. Can't really pay a Jets tax when you trade for these guys. You kind of lock them into a corner. They have no option, right? So would Minkah have gotten 3 for $40 in the open market? He might have gotten a little bit more. He probably is like, hey, I get to go home. I get to play in the hometown. I don't really have a choice. Like, I have to be here. I might as well sign an extension. So to me, it's just, this is a good use of, again, 6th, 7th, even 5th round picks. Like, who are you going to use at some point, dude? You have a roster of only 53 guys, and they have a gazillion picks, and they're going to have another gazillion next year. Like, you do need some veterans here. I think when I hopped on in the waiting room, I heard Frankie say it. Like, you do need some adults here. Like, they have the youngest in the league last year, and it showed. Like, when things got tough, they had no ability to counter. You need to have a balance, man. Young talent, really good blue chip young talent. You need guys in their prime, and you need guys that maybe are a little past their prime, but are just professional, good, solid players. Again, is this Minkah trade making them a 9-win team next year? No. But I think the combination of what they'll do if they added DeMario Davis or Angelino, whatever, him and Minkah, okay, that's a much bigger upgrade. It maybe helps you improve a win or two. Like, that's just the reality of it. Just professional guys, good players in the league. They got respect from the guys in the locker room. And if you're going to draft the young safety and you have a Malachi Moore, I'd like to have a Minkah Fitzpatrick there to teach them what it's like to be a professional, how you're good week in, week out, not just like Andre Sisco who fakes an injury when he gets missed tackle from Elijah.
And by the way, here's the list of the Jets draft capital with the compensatory picks now factored in. Sneaky big thing. They got 2 4th-round picks now, which is awesome to go with a 5th that they got. Yeah, right. Flip that 4th for Brissett. I'm right there with you. I said that on the show. I think I said this yesterday. So I agree. But the pick they used in this deal for Minkah is 217. That's the 7th-round pick there from the Titans. It was originally the Chargers pick, and they got that pick in the Brownlee deal. So think about that. Muji was able to basically turn a Jets 6th-round pick in the Jarvis Brownlee and Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think we have a real general manager.
That pick on, like,
right,
not a Minkah Fitzpatrick level player. I'm the 99.9% sure of that.
I think we got a GM, Frankie. I really do.
Listen, that's the kind of move you need to make, man. If you were to ask me a week ago, we're trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick, what are we giving up? I'd probably say a 5th rounder, something like that.
Maybe the comp 4.
Yes, exactly. So you get him for a 7th. It's a good deal. Listen, 3 years, $40 million is not nothing, but Minkah's a good player.
Yeah, I also want to know what that real money is. You know, it's like
totally.
I'm very curious. It's probably a 2-year deal, I would assume.
100%.
2 for 28. I don't know. And
with an out,
I'm curious what it's going to really look like to cap wise.
Yeah,
totally agree. Agree.
And I like that. And you know, you just put up those picks, Jake. Those picks, I just smell a nice offensive kind of draft we're going to have. So instead of getting a D tackle and safety a little early, we've already kind of addressed those things already. We can start investing in wide receivers and maybe a guard, maybe a blocking tight end later on in the draft. Like, you can start doing some things there, which we need to do. We need to bring in some guys on offense via the draft and just patch up some of the holes on defense via free agency. I mean, or the trade market. I like the approach. It's exactly what I would do if I was running the team, which I don't think anyone would like. But
the mood, baby. This is the man running the team.
Bring back the soul patch, dude.
Yes.
The mood.
Yeah, listen, a maniac in there. Damn.
The Dolphins are going to be really bad, man. Like, they're going to be.
They might have the first pick, dude. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about them from this standpoint. There were reports this morning. Well, they want Malik Willis. If they can't get Malik Willis, their pivot could be Geno Smith.
Yep.
That obviously impacts the Jets if their plan is Geno, because Geno would prefer Miami, where he's from, than the Jets. What's the latest with the quarterback carousel in your mind, Will? What should we expect today?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to really get much today in terms of a starter. Like, unfortunately, if you told me they signed Wentz today, like, great. You know, like, they signed one of those. They signed Jake Browning to be their backup, like, whatever. I think because Geno, Kyler, Tua cannot sign till Wednesday, I believe, because they won't actually be released. And Tua is designated post June 1.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll see. Look, wouldn't blame Geno's going to be like play for a bad team. Like, obviously, he'd rather play 4 minutes from where he grew up with no state tax and in the warm weather. That said, like, I'm not saying the Jets are going to be good, but I'd rather play behind the Jets offensive line and Garrett Wilson and be like, hey, maybe I can, if I have a good year next year, I can extend my career a couple more years and, you know, and hang around. Because I think if he goes to Miami and they're bad and he doesn't play well, like, that might be it. You know, maybe that's fine for him. Maybe that's what he wants. I don't know. At least Geno, to me, at least, if you're trying to keep Garrett happy, he's probably him and Brissett are probably the best options because he'll just get peppered with targets. It's still like a professional quarterback. Geno was not very good the last 2 years. But at least, again, it's like you'll get your number one target, a bunch of options. You can run a real offense. He's a little like Jameis too, where it's like going to be a lot of picks, but it'll be a lot of touchdowns, and he'll air it out. And you know, Geno doesn't really. It's kind of an F-it mode a little bit with Geno. I still think I'd prefer, like, I don't know. Any room without Wentz is a better room. I can't emphasize enough how much of like a negative influence that guy is in the locker room, on top of just being not a good quarterback anymore. But Gino, Tua, Kyler, these guys are going to play for $1 million next year. Like the reality is, unfortunately, you're going to be paying Justin Fields somewhere between $10 and $20 million to not be here. You're going to pay Rodgers another $28 million to not be here. Like you're probably not spending Malik Willis money at quarterback this year. And I think that's probably fine long-term. Like one other thing, guys, I just, in general, and I know people are kind of harping on this approach with the Jets aren't going to be shopping for, JFM and stuff. Like if it doesn't go well this year, the thing they've struggled so badly with, and they did this under Douglas and Saleh badly, they did this under Gase. You don't want to trap the next GM with awful contracts that they then take 2 years to dig out of. If they sign Gino and he sucks, they're probably picking the top of the draft. If they sign Gino and he has a resurgent year, you're still at least like next year, you're not paying Fields anymore. You're not paying Rodgers. And it's like, we have a young quarterback that's making $8-10 million, and now we can at least go do a big, Trey Hendrickson move, the Crosby, like that's when you can do that stuff. I'm not saying I prefer Gino, but he's at least at least a professional quarterback that'll air it out and not going to be afraid to throw a screen pass, and at least behind a decent offensive line, you assume maybe he can at least be fine. I don't know. You know what I mean? I guess there's just not a lot of great options, unfortunately, fellas. I think Brissett is probably the most professional of the quarterbacks available. I don't know. Him and Gino together, at least, maybe would be best of both worlds, a little higher floor and a little higher ceiling.
Still don't get why Cousins is not in consideration for them.
Did you see the report today? I don't know if it's true that he wants 25 a year.
Kirk does?
His agent, him and Daniel Jones' agent,
he knows how to make money.
One of the best negotiators. Dude, Jones wants $50 million a year. Is this dude serious?
Yeah.
And he's going to get it for someone. I don't know. I don't think
Colts is wrong. They transition tagged him. The
Colts offered 3 for $33 a year, which is the Darnold deal, which is totally fair. I think it's a similar type of guy where had success, but there's still the floor is pretty low. Dude, they had 7 good games and then his leg exploded. I don't know who this guy thinks he is, but good for him. I wouldn't give Daniel Jones $50 million a year. I'll tell you that much. He'll be the Dolphins in 2 years, blowing it up and eating $99 million dead cap.
Crazy, the dead cat. And they just did not need to give Tua that deal when they signed him. He still had plenty of years left.
Chris Greer is a terrorist. He gave Tua that huge extension. He's gone 1 year later. Tyreek Hill, massive extension. When he was already on an extension, gone 1 year later. And then he gave Ramsey an extension and traded him 2 months later.
Yeah.
What were you doing? It's just purgatory of trying to be 9-8 or 8-9 every single year and hope you sneak in the playoffs to keep your job. The Saints have been doing it forever, and they finally had to blow it up. At least as the Jets, we're just in purgatory and just bad. We don't spend any money. We're just bad, as opposed to some of these other teams that end up being mid, and then they kind of just are stuck there forever.
What do you guys think of Tyson Bagent? What are your kind
that's another option, right? I don't know what he would cost.
I don't know either. I've read some stuff out of Chicago. They want a second rounder for him, which is ridiculous. But
yeah, I'd like my wife and Sydney Sweeney to go on a double date.
Would you give up a fourth, one of those fourths for him?
If I feel if they had a real plan for him, I think you have to entertain any of these ideas. I think I wouldn't touch any day 2 picks for any of these guys. Maybe if they had a third, I would maybe consider the Mac Jones types, because I think at least you'd Mac's young enough. You feel hey, whatever. But again, I just the issue is the Jets are in a year where not only is the draft a weak quarterback draft, but the free agency, because these guys all smartly signed 2-year deals last year. All the high end backup starter bridge guys are all under I'd give up a fifth for Jameis Winston in a heartbeat and have Gino and Jameis and just run the most entertaining slop fest of it.
I would too, if he's actually available. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Quick update on the madness. This is going to be one of those ASMANIAC madness competitions that gets a ton of votes because we're doing a breaking news show. We got over 1,000. We just hit over 1,000. 1,004 people watching live on YouTube. Smash the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Quick update in poll voting. Kyle Clifton, the #1 seed in action against Cash Money Mike. Kyle Clifton, he's up 77-23 right now. Keep your votes coming. We'll hear from both Kyle and Cash Money Mike.
Let me ask you guys, because I have to go in a second. Let me ask you guys this.
Yes.
Would you if I told you you're gonna let's just say for sake of argument they're taking they know they're gonna take Arvell Reese. Let's just say like that's their minds made up. Even if we don't agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. Let's just say that's what they're gonna do. And Philly calls you and says, "We'll take your comp for and a 7th rounder for Nolan Smith, and then you can have like that'll be your pass rush." Would you do it? Is it worth it? No, it's a lot of money for a guy for 1 year, and if he's not, then it's like you're choosing between paying him and Will McDonald probably long term. But I was just thinking of like, I want Kingsley Enagbare badly.
Yeah,
like if they sign Kingsley Enagbare and Demario Davis, I'll be very happy. Their run defense, no one's running on the Jets next year. They might pass on the Jets, but no one will be running on them with big Meatloaf and Demario plugging holes. And Enagbare would be the problem is that I think the Jets, like many others, view him as a sleeper, which means everyone views him as a sleeper, which means he's not a sleeper anymore, and he's going to get paid more than he probably is worth.
Well, JFM was once thought to be a sleeper too, and now it's like he's going to get $20 million.
Dude, the Titans are not only going to spend; they're going to sign Wan'Dale, JFM, potentially Quincy, and 2 corners, including one for big money today.
Oh yeah,
in the next 2 hours. The Commanders, baby. Giants fans, all the guys the Giants want might be going to Washington. I'm just going to say that.
Well, AVT is apparently on their radar. Let me get to this from Doc because I'm curious your thoughts. Will anyone else other than me a bit disappointed AVT doesn't want to be here as reported by Brian Costello? I thought with him, the O-line
ceiling. Kaz said he didn't want to be, that AVT doesn't want to be here anymore.
I didn't hear Kaz say that. So
I'm just, Frankie, you work. I mean, I don't think I didn't hear that.
I think the assumption is he's not going to be here. I don't think he said it.
Oh yeah, I think that
doesn't want to be here.
It just and again, this is part of the reason AVT is probably potentially not going to be here. But dude, if he has a healthy year last year, right? Again, big if. Like Glenn and Muji were going to give him the
totally
huge extension. Like they said it at camp. Like I actually think it was literally one of the days Frankie's co-host Ryan was there, and he was like, we asked about AVT, and he was like, we want him to be a cornerstone guy for us. Like he was a captain, like looked awesome, and then obviously got hurt for another freak injury and a goddamn walkthrough the week before the season starts. But someone said that he doesn't want to move, and that's why the Giants are interested. Which I don't know who reported that, but found that I don't know. I don't know if that's what I would assume he was going to the Giants. Like I think it would just maybe be a money and like. Scheme
on the Raiders, I'd offer him.
Yeah, the Raiders and the Chargers and the Rams. He's from California. Like he's in California right now. I don't know why we'd be like wanting to. Look, man, we all live on the East Coast. I love New York, New Jersey, but if I could choose to be playing inside and live in California versus the slop that's here in 9 months a year, I think I'd probably choose California.
Leon wrote, I heard Costello say on Connor Long's show that AVT doesn't want to be here because he wants to change the scenery because of all the bad luck.
I mean, maybe it's a mental thing at that point where you're like, hey, everything keeps going wrong. Like, I just needed a change. It worked for Becton for a year, and then he got fat again. But
don't worry, Nick Barry is suggesting the Jets bring Becton back. I wanted to shoot him.
Oh my God, dude.
Not only do I not think the Jets would go on interest, I highly doubt a guy that Jets fans doxed him for pooping his pants on TikTok. I don't think he's coming back here either.
Gator writes, and is there pressure to sign a quarterback to help ticket sales? How does this team sell tickets with a career backup at QB? Does that steer the conversation?
I'm sure Frankie and you agree with this too, but I think that's definitely always going to be in the conversation. Let's be honest. The Jets are a business still, and they're not dumb. Like they view a lot of stuff as a business. Yeah, I mean, obviously it plays a factor, but if they're able to improve their roster, like I think fans are kind of understand what's going on at quarterback. Like last year, I think it was frustrating because there's a lot of Rodgers. Is Fields actually worth it? Like we're coming off these expectations. I don't think fans are like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think people are expecting a splash at quarterback. I don't like. I think some folks want Ty Simpson, and maybe they want an Aller or someone on day 2 or day 3. I think fans are kind of like, no, it's going to be a guy like a Wentz and Geno and Mariota and Jacoby. Like, I don't know if I'm like, maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think people are expecting that. I think they're like, can we watch a competitive, normal product for 17 weeks? Or people are like, I hope they lose every game because I want Arch Manning or CJ Carr or one of these guys. That's kind of where I feel like people are at now.
Do you know where I'm at? And I think some people agree with this. I do want an unknown at quarterback to a degree that if you were to give this quarterback the keys for a 6-7 game stretch, maybe you have someone that's potentially a starter or a really good backup going into the next year. That's why I like Tyson Bagent. Like, I like the thought that give this guy an opportunity to come in. You should compete, win the job in camp, and then you might be the starter. Maybe you have something there. I'd rather that, I think, than like guys that we've seen before and guys that we've seen fail many times before.
At least some type of lottery ticket. Like
yeah,
with,
with someone that is good enough to just play the position.
I still like my dream first round. It's not going to change unless something drastically changes. But like, I still would love them to end up with Reese or Bailey or one of their styles, one of those guys at 2, Tyson, Lemon, or Tate at 16, and then they trade up from 33 to 29 and get Ty Simpson and like
Jets.
He might make it to 33, Will. You might have to trade up.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, who knows if he'll even get to 16 at this point? Like, we have no idea. Every day it changes, but it just, to me, like, that would be really exciting because it would be like, hey, we have a young quarterback. Again, to Frankie's point, you can like, hey, we might have someone here, and it's exciting. And if the rest of the roster looks much better, at least you're like, you can feel good about something. I really don't. And then I'll let you guys go back to it, but I know a lot of people want to tank, and I get it. I'm not like telling you're wrong. Everyone can fan how they want to fan and feel how they want to feel, but it's really like, dude, if they're really bad again and like a generationally bad again, I understand the young quarterback is going to be really exciting, and they'll probably get a good coach because of the draft picks. But like, dude, it's going to then like, we're having Garrett Wilson conversations. We're having like, does Membu want to be here long term already in 2 years? Like that, dude, I can't stomach being in that spot. I would rather be like, the Colts sucked and they end up picking 6th, and the Jets pick 9th, and they have 3 first-round picks, and like, it's too good for someone to say no. Or like, you still get a great quarterback. It's the CJ Carr falls to 6, or I don't know, you take one of the, Metamaker and all these other guys. It's like, I can't stomach going into the year knowing you're going to be bad. I'd rather at least be like, hey, can we be competitive, and can we find out if some of these young guys are good?
That's what they're going to try to do. It's just a matter of
they can do it or
coach
not.
do it. Yeah, like anyone who's saying tank, like they're not actually trying to tank. It's just that they signed Carson Wentz and there's no real plan behind them.
Oh, dude,
you're just going to be bad anyway.
I'd much rather Tyson Bagent be my backup than Carson Wentz. What is Wentz offering you? Because it's not like he's this like amazing guy. Like Tyrod's this awesome dude that everyone loves, and it's like you get why he's your backup. Like, Wentz sucks, man. Like, I don't care if I'm sure I'll get a text later from somebody being like, you're being way too hard on Carson. No, dude, he sucks. Like, everywhere he goes, it's just.
Anyone trying to defend Carson Wentz is strictly doing it because they know that there's a strong possibility the Jets are going to sign him. He's been bad every opportunity he's had the last 5 years.
He also gets hurt immediately. His body's. I feel bad for him. He was a really talented player in the league, and we all know like he would have won the MVP probably in 17, and maybe he's a Super Bowl MVP, and we're talking about his career differently, but tears the ACL in the QB sneak, and it's never been the same. And his body's broke. Dude, like that game last year on Thursday Night Football, I forget who the Vikings played. Was it the Rams? There's somebody. His body is just, dude, his shoulder's out of place. He's got cracked ribs.
He has no zip on his ball.
Did he have shoulder surgery, fellas?
He did. On his non-throwing shoulder was the surgery.
Tearing the labrum is like not a great injury. Like, I don't care if it's your, I just. Do you guys also see last thing? Do you guys see the Justin Fields fan club thing? According to a source, dude, fuck off. Like, according to a source, first of all, it's probably Justin Fields tweeting that. And secondly, according to a source, the most obvious story in NFL history, Justin Fields going to be released. Like, yeah, obviously. The guy's, oh, man. Probably going to be a preacher in Idaho by the end of next year out of football.
Get ready for some Carson Wentz, baby.
There's something about the Fields thing really quick. People are mentioning that Fields, why would you want a lottery ticket? Wasn't that Justin Fields? Justin Fields started a lot of football games.
He was in year 5.
Yeah,
no?
like
year 6.
We saw a lot from Justin Fields. That was not great. So there was not much, in my opinion, there wasn't so much unknown there. Just throwing that out there.
I wouldn't even say like, I like, even if they had, Kyler's going to Minnesota, but if he wasn't, like, I still was even like, I wasn't for Kyler, but I also would have understood the same, like, okay, we can at least, Kyler's probably the 18th best quarterback. He's annoying, but like maybe on a 1-year deal for the minimum. He does play hard for a year. and at least gets you to respectability.
He's
and
better than Tua or Wentz. I'd take
Yeah.
Kyler in 2 seconds
Again,
over them.
I wanted Tua because I wanted the Dolphins' first-round pick. I don't want Tua
Exactly.
because he's the quarterback. I just
Right.
wanted them. I wanted to be like, dude.
Would
do
you
they,
want Tua now that he costs nothing? Because I don't. I think
I
it'd be
don't
a
want Tua
disaster.
for a minimum. We're not playing 17 games in Jerusalem, dude. Like, I don't know how Tua's going to play.
Can't do it. Can't do it. And then one final thing, Will. Derek Carr, I don't care what people on the beat say. To me, he's still a real option because Carr doesn't have any other opportunities. The Jets have the connection with him through
Carr
not
feels
just
like the Geno thing, doesn't it? Where it's like they might not want to come here, or they do. It doesn't matter. But at some point, you do need a quarterback. I'm out on Carr, but I also
will be one of them.
Again, if they
Musgrave, and also here's what no one talks about: Frank Reich, when he was the head coach of the Panthers, Derek Carr took a visit to Carolina to meet with Frank Reich.
Yeah, you were at the combine. We asked him about it, and they were like, "I thought Derek Carr was a possibility to go to Carolina." Like, I remember the Jets because obviously that was the offseason. The Jets, Martini Nate was founded, and we all were like, thought Derek Carr was a possibility. Saleh wanted Carr, like as much as he can now claim he didn't want him. He wanted Darnold, like he wanted Derek Carr, and at the time, I wasn't really for it. The only issue with Carr that I have is like, I don't know, maybe I'm just panicking. Like, this entire year is obviously there's a lot that's going to be found out, but like, just please keep Garrett happy because I have a feeling Chris Olave is probably like, dude, get out of there if Derek Carr is your quarterback. That said, you can't obviously only make decisions based on that. Fellas, I will say Alec Pierce getting Amon-Ra and Garrett Wilson money today is going to be hilarious. I love Alec Pierce. I don't love Oz Hakeem getting $30 million a year. That's what we're talking about here.
Craziness. Will, appreciate you hopping on, man. I'll talk to you this afternoon as more deals come in.
Later, brother.
Yep.
Will Parkinson, turn on the Jets pod. Appreciate Will hopping on. Frankie V is with us. A couple super chats, and then let's get an update on ASMANIAC Madness and a whole lot more. J Mart says, yay, Tua is available. I want nothing to do with Tua for the minimum. Again, his record in the cold, the injury history. What are we doing, man? Tua's 0-5 when the kickoff temperature is 40 degrees or less. Come on. And he also has major injury issues. And talking with people who watched Tua this past year, the body is just broken down. He never had a great arm, but he was deadly accurate. He doesn't trust himself anymore back there. Like he's so worried about getting hit. You can't run your normal offense like that. Just Tua's not a good fit for the Jets. He needs to go somewhere where he's probably like a high-end backup for a coach that can work with him.
Yeah, 100%. Tua's a terrible fit here. You cannot get a worse fit than Tua playing here. He can't play outdoors at MetLife Stadium. There's no shot. Zero. He needs to go somewhere like New Orleans, maybe be a backup, a vet to someone like a Tyler Shuck. Something like that makes sense. Here, not even close.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We got over 1,000 people in here watching the program live. So we appreciate all of you for being part of our show. Flight Risk Jet says Mike White versus Wentz. Man.
Whoa, now we're talking.
What a battle that would be if they signed Mike White and Carson Wentz for the quarterback battle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as Maniac Madness, Kyle Clifton's up 76-24, but can our first caller mount a comeback? Cash Money Mike in the leadoff spot today. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, Jake? What's going on, Vinny? How's everything? So just want to say I like the Fitz trade deal. I think that was a great trade. They gave up nothing, a 7th-round pick, and they signed him for 2-3-year contract with $40 million. I think it's a great start of the off season. So kudos to Mooj. Yeah, I can't say much. I know I'm down 50% right now in regards to the tournaments, and Kyle Clifton is the GOAT. Everyone loves him. He does have great takes. I also have Kyle Clifton win the whole thing as well. But hey, if anybody wants their brackets to be busted, you vote for me, because you guarantee you're gonna win if you don't want Kyle Clifton to win. So him and I are probably the same age, so we've been through it all together. The bad, the good, the ugly, going back from the late 80s till today. One thing I do want to put up a crazy idea though, okay? And don't kill me for this, Jake. But what do you think if the Raiders if they love Ty Simpson more than Fernando?
They don't.
And they want to get Orville Reese or Bain at the first pick?
I'm sure they like those guys, but they need a quarterback. All you need to know is the Raiders sent their owner and their entire brass to the national championship game. You've never seen that. That doesn't happen. They're taking Mendoza. It's a foregone conclusion.
Okay.
Unless he gets arrested, which maybe would be a good thing, because then the Jets could take him.
I figure, the Raiders draft terrible just like the Jets do, right? Previously. So I'm hoping that this could be like a once in a lifetime opportunity where the Raiders screwed up and take Bain or Reese, and then they leave because they fell in love with Ty Simpson. But you're 100% right. I think Mendoza is going to go number 1. I'm just taking a hot take there, so to speak. What about Trubisky? Is Trubisky a good because he's also a free agent?
He's a name. I mean, look, if he gets to play against the Jets defense all year, he'd be unbelievable. I mean, when he came in and when Allen briefly went out in week 2 and had that completion over Sauce, and then he dominated them in the last game of the season. Trubisky intrigues me. I wonder what his market would be. I'd have no problem if he was added with, let's say, like a Derek Carr, and you had a quarterback battle with those two, and then you still drafted Ty in the second round. Like I'd be open to something like that.
Yeah, Trubisky's somebody that if he plays the whole season, he's not going to be the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Trubisky understands how to play the position. He's got some legs to him, too. He can get outside the pocket. The problem with Trubisky is when the defenses pick up on his tendencies midway through the season, he doesn't sort of reinvent himself. He doesn't do new things. He's sort of a very just blah kind of quarterback. He doesn't change throughout the course of a season, which his ex-coaches used to talk about, but he can play quarterback. If he starts all year, he's not the 32nd quarterback in the league. I'll probably be somewhere between like 23 and 26 or something.
Which would be better than what they had last year, right? So
around there, yeah. I mean,
yeah. So anyways, I wanted to leave it at this. Kyle Clifton, good luck today. It looks like you're gonna, hopefully you don't kill me like so. But just want to say, Jay Gasman, thank you for everything you do for our Jet community. You are the best, YouTuber for Jets community on the planet. Again, I was the first person that saw you in public. So I always have that, and we'll always have Tampa as well. So
that's right.
Great time, great memories, and I look forward to the next meetup on the next away game. And I believe it's going to be in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken, right?
If the weather and the date cooperates, Mike, we're going to try Chicago. We got Nashville as an option, LA. We'll see when the schedule comes out.
Right. I'm going to be there. I'll be there. I'm going to be there.
You're the man. Great job.
You're the man. Thanks, guys.
ASMANIAC Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Cash Money Mike putting up a fight, but man, when you face the number 1 overall seed, it's going to be tough. And right now, it is 77-23. Kyle Clifton leading Cash Money Mike. The winner will advance to the round of 32, and the winner will face off against the winner of this afternoon's Rob the Jet Fan versus Allen battle. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now.
We've heard Vinny, by the way.
I was about to get into that. He did call you Vinny. So
Vinny?
He called you, said Jake and Vinny, and I enjoyed that.
Okay. I mean, I kind of look like a Vinny a little bit. So I mean,
he confused the V for Vinny, which I love.
People used to call me Vitty, Vitty, but Vinny with an N. That's interesting. Okay.
More calls here as we react to the Minkah Fitzpatrick deal, and free agency officially can get underway from a Jet standpoint.
We're getting close, Jake. I'm feeling it.
Just over an hour, baby. An hour and 20 minutes from now.
I didn't think I was going to have a chance to call in today, but
I had your video ready, Kyle. I'll save it because I saw you were on hold.
I'm out canvassing for votes. I went directly to the electorate. So I don't know if you can see where I am right now, but
wow, he's at the shoe store with Bones. He called in the big gun.
That's right.
I'm locked in the W right there.
I'm trying to get tips on what it would be like if I were lucky enough to ever become a great champion.
Incredible.
So-
What a performance. I don't think you needed to pull out the bones you stopped this early in the 1 versus 16, but now it's, I mean, good luck to Cash Money Mike.
I'll just wait till the next steps. Yeah, I mean, Minkah, I think that you hit it right on the head, Jake. Let's see what the guaranteed money is, and with that, you gotta have a feeling that it's really essentially a 2-year deal, or we hope that, and that we're kind of playing on his desire to maybe come home. I'm not sure I'm going to see what Minkah looks like in year 3 of that deal, but for now, the guy is still quality. He still knows the defense that we want to play. And, he's a market upgrade over what we've had in the recent past. So the money makes sense. The cap only goes up, as we know. And I'm here for it. Like, let's see what else we can get done. Maybe we can get a trade for a wide receiver in the next day or so as well.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot they could do, but I think this is a really good start because you're getting a proven safety who's still playing at a high level, and it cost you a 7th-round pick. I think it'd be very tough for any fan out there to not be on board with the type of move the Jets made here.
Now I'm going to get out of these guys' way. Say goodbye to Joe.
Go Bones, everyone.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Kyle, great call. Looks like you're going to cruise to a victory, pulling out all the big stops. By the way, Cash Money Mike says, I always screw up names. Sorry, Frankie, a.k.a. Vinny. Vinny!
Call me whatever you want, man. Don't worry.
Super chats, cut the line. Big shout out to everyone supporting the show. Like Rasta Dreader says, we got Minkah. Amen. And you got 2 raffle tickets for this statement. We got this one from AD. Says, you guys see Lemon's strange interview. Thoughts? I hope it's so strange he's there at 16 for the Jets to draft him. Those are my thoughts. I'd take him in 2 seconds.
Absolutely. I'll say this about Mekhi Lemon. Listen, he's a wide receiver. Wide receivers are a little bit off, some of them. Some of them are just, they could be divas. They could be a little bit strange. It's just how the position goes. There's a reason that diva wide. And I'm not saying what he did was a diva move, but you could always point to something with a wide receiver. Don't take it too seriously. It means nothing. Now, I will say there are reports, and McShay was talking about this, that in meetings with teams, Jake, Mekhi Lemon seemed a little bit unprepared and wasn't really answering the questions that he was asked, and was kind of BSing his way through it. Like, they'd ask him to put something on the board and he kind of didn't know what he was talking about. So that's more concerning than him being weird with the media or having some weird like facial expressions. If he's there at 16, you got to get him. Every metric in this draft that I've looked at, every single one suggests that he's the best receiver out of those top 2 guys or 3 guys. So between Tate, Tyson, and Lemon, every metric, for example, yards per route run against zone, he's in like an elite category of receivers. If you go through all of those metrics, Mekhi Lemon's at the top. I have him as my 3rd wide receiver. I have Tyson, Tate, Lemon, but I have Tate and Lemon pretty close. You can't go wrong with any of those 3 guys. They're not perfect, but they give you much needed help on the outside there, and we need it.
Well said. Brian with a super chat, go out there and play with some pride. Jets for life. Well, Minkah's a vet, and he will play with pride, so it's a good move there. Hey, we got a raffle on Friday. Again, these 3 items are going to be raffled away during Friday's show. Garrett Wilson signed helmet, Joe Klecko signed helmet, and a Joe Namath signed helmet. No one has entered the raffle via a gifted membership, and we're about an hour in, so I'm going to gift one right now. If you want one, here's what you need to do. Like the video, be a subscriber to the channel, and the YouTube algorithm might reward you with a gifted membership. Here we go. In honor of Minkah being a Jet, 1 gifted membership from yours truly is coming down. Going to get to more of your calls coming up. We got the great Frankie V from U Stadium hanging out with us here as we react to the deal that the Jets have already made before the legal tampering window opens. Minkah Fitzpatrick for a 7th-round pick, and the Jets have signed into a 3-year, $40 million contract. We await the official word on how much of that money is actually guaranteed. 1 membership from yours truly, officially gifted. Let's go, baby. Hit it. Bang! It went to listener Drew 7155. So Drew, you are in our raffle. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Let's say hello to the Australian Jets fan who's next. AJF, how are the people of Australia reacting to the Minkah deal?
I don't know. I sent a message to some of my friends, but none of them responded, probably because it's almost 2 a.m. But I'm happy with the deal. I think it was a good trade from Muji. I mean, we know how much our secondary sucks. The only question is right now is the contract. Like whatever they give him, obviously we'll see how he performs. I'm happy giving up a 7th round pick for Minkah. It's not really a gamble at all. Now it's up to Muji to get him a contract that, you know, by the time it's done, we're going to say it was worth giving him that money. So yeah, I'm really thrilled. I've been very thrilled with Muji as a GM so far. I think he did really well in the draft last year. You know, he hit with Member as the 7th pick. You know, I think he was the best offensive lineman out of that whole class, rookie class last year. Mason Taylor looks like he's got upside as well. Same as, you know, AZ Thomas. So some nice pickups and the mid-season trades as well. And before the season, like you said, you know, Harrison Phillips, Jarvis Brownlee. I just really hope that he doesn't go at Glenn's expense, because I don't think Aaron Glenn will make it through next year.
Well, it's gonna come down to how many games they win, but how do some of the moves that he makes this offseason, how do they work out, right? If he has a good draft class, but the team's just not any good, there's a path for Muji to be here. I think we feel much better about the GM because he's made some solid deals. Like I could reference Minkah now, Harrison Phillips, Briggs, Jarvis Brownlee, and did I say Briggs? I think I did. And he didn't give up more than a 6th round pick. Like that's just good GMing there. The first draft class looks pretty solid. Glenn gets credit for that as well. I think Muji extracted maximum value with Sauce and Quinnen. I mean, Sauce went for more than what Max Crosby went for. Enough said. So there's a lot to like, I think, with the GM, but they got to have results on the field this year. Otherwise, he's not just automatically going to be here and Glenn's gone.
I mean, like I see where you're coming from, but then again, I feel like a lot of the on-field things we can't really, you know, are sort of out of Muji's control. Because I believe that Aaron Glenn is the worst head coach, one of the worst head coaches I've ever seen. And I don't think that he's, well, so far, I hope he can change it, but I'm not expecting him to. But I don't think a lot of that is on Muji. I think Muji's done almost everything he can at the moment with Glenn. And if they lose games, but, you know, the players are performing at least in some sort of way, and you can see that the moves Muji's making aren't, you know, really what's causing the on-field performance issues, I think he sort of has to stay.
All fair. Again, I do think there's a path for him to stay. I'm saying it's not. I don't think it's a lock at this point, this early on in the offseason that we know.
Yeah, and also one thing as well. I'm excited. I haven't voted yet. I'm waiting for. I think Kyle Clifton said he's going to call back. I'm waiting.
He did call it already.
Yeah, but he said he was going to call again, didn't he?
What more do you need from Kyle Clifton that you haven't seen over the course of a year on this show?
I don't know.
He's the number one overall seed. Your vote is determined on whether or not Kyle Clifton will call back in. He just called in from the Bonesy shoe store. What more do you need from the man?
No, but I'm not saying that I need more, but you know, he might have something else to say, you know. So I'm just waiting.
What more could he say? What could he possibly say that would get you to vote for the man?
He could say that he has bought the Jets for Woody Johnson.
If you're not going to vote for Kyle Clifton now, I wouldn't vote for him at all. Vote for Cash Money Mike then. That's my advice for you.
I like to wait to the end of the show. Kyle Clifton might have already won by the end, but if I somehow win Asmaniac Madness, I'm here. I'm campaigning. I'm trying to call in as much as possible. I will shave my head and I will shave my beard.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
I don't know what more Kyle Clifton could do. We've heard from Cash Money Mike. We've heard from Clifton, who called in from the Mr. Bonesy shoe store, and AJF is like, he might have something he could say. You're like, what? What more can he say?
You know what's crazy? I just saw this. So Muji has now made trades acquiring, I think we might have brought this up already, but acquiring Minkah Fitzpatrick, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs, and Jarvis Brownlee, and didn't give up more than a 6th round pick in any of them.
Have you been paying attention to the last hour that I've said that exact thing?
I'm just saying. Like reading that and actually, I know you probably said it like 3
I
times.
said it 3 or 4
Yeah.
times. Again, I think we have a GM. I said that verbatim. All right, you literally just copied something I've been saying. I named the players. I said the most they gave up was a 6 for any of those guys. And I'll take it a step further. The 6 they used for Brownlee, they got back a 7th that they used today to get Minkah. So they got both Brownlee and they got Minkah for what was ultimately a Jet 6th-round pick in end of September, early October, whenever that deal was made.
Yeah. You can make an argument. All of those players, by the way,
Vinny, pay attention. Good God.
Oh, please. I know you said, so I think it needed to be stated again. I just think it's
the old double statement.
The old double statement there. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the double, triple, quadruple statements. Those guys can all play the position at an above average rate. Like they can be better than your average player at that position, all 4 of those guys. So that it's just Aaron Glenn's got no excuses this year. I'm not going to go into this offseason crapping on the guy. We crapped on him enough this entire season. You got the players right now, or you're going to have the players after this draft and free agency's done. There are no excuses with Glenn. You're calling the defense. Play calling's your superpower. Well, let's see what you can do. Put up or shut up time for me. I'm not going to – I'll tell you right now, I'm not going into this offseason, Jay, crapping on Glenn every week or whatever. I'm just not doing that. We did enough of it. Let's see what he does in season.
Well, there's just nothing he could say that's going to change fan opinion until the game start. He's got to perform.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, and that's everything. I think if you look at our team over the last 3 or 4 years, there's enough talent to win football games. There just is. I don't think talent's been the biggest defect here in terms of us not being able to win. It's coaching, and that's what this team needs. So if they can't figure it out this next upcoming year to at least a level where you're looking like one of the best defenses in football for a few stretches, over a 3-game stretch, you're making things happen. You're getting the quarterback with this young edge in Reese or Bailey. You're getting interceptions with Fitzpatrick back there. Malachi Moore is developing into a really good safety. If you're not seeing those things, this coach has got to go. He's got to go because they'll have the talent.
100%. Lou B writes in, Vinny smokes pot.
Not anymore.
You retired?
I've been retired. Long time.
Lou B checks in. As I mentioned, the Jake Kyler Murray was in New York last night. Was it for pizza or the team? I don't know. I mean, Kyler does like New York, though. We know he showed up at Joe's Pizza and was enjoying a slice like many do. So who knows?
Yeah. I think, everything's pointing to Kyler going to Minnesota. I don't know if you've seen that. That's
which makes sense. He could win that job and be a starter for Kevin O'Connell. I'd do the same thing if I was him.
Yeah.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Well, Mr. Frankie V, I appreciate you hopping on. This was a fun morning, and I was not expecting the Jets to make a deal. Let me end with this. Give me a couple guys you'd love to see the Jets target when they can officially start signing players in about an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, so Jamel Dean, cornerback's one of my favorite values out of any player in free agency. You look at Jamel Dean, he doesn't have any accolades per se, so there's no Pro Bowls or all pros attached to him. But if you look at his play, he's played like a Pro Bowl corner. I think he instantly becomes our cornerback 1. And then at the minimum in a year or 2, he could be like the 1B or the 2. You look at his PFF finishes, Jake, last year was 3rd. The year before that, 17th, 12th, 19th, 11th. He allowed the lowest completion percentage in the NFL last year, and it was actually the 2nd lowest allowed in the next gen stats era. He's just awesome, man. Lowest passer rating last year as well. I like Tyler Algier as your offset back with Brees, depending upon where Braylon Allen falls in. I think he really knows how to be a downhill runner, and it'll help us in those short yardage situations. You see those 4th and 1s and those 3rd and shorts, how they kill us every year. Tyler Algier knows how to get those tough yards, and he'll be very cheap on the market. And then I'm looking at guard, Jake. I like the Chargers guard, Isaac Sumalo, or a Wyatt Teller. I think get one of those guards and stabilize that guard spot. I do unfortunately think AVT's gone. So if you get one of those guards, and then even if you want to flirt with one during the draft or draft one, bring one in to kind of compete, or maybe Teller or Samalu will be here for a year or two, and then you can insert your rookie. Let's say your rookie 4th round guard. So I like those moves. And then I think if they want with tight end, listen, I know we're bringing back Jeremy Ruckert, but I think Will Dissly is somebody that I like. Again, I'm going really inexpensive here. If it was up to me, I would sign Alec Pierce and Reek Woolen, but I don't think we're going to spend like that. I like Will Dissly as a run blocking tight end. I think you bring him in again, those short yardage situations, Jake, we struggled immensely in short yardage. You bring in a guy like that can line up in a jumbo package. Will Dissly's good, and he's underrated in the passing game. So those are just a few guys off the top that I think would make a lot of sense here, and just makes your team tougher and better up front on both sides. Defensively, I don't think we need to go safety, but I do like Nick Cross as an in the box safety, but they don't need to really do that anymore now with the Minkah move. So you can cross that off literally.
Mr. Frankie V, appreciate you hopping on.
Appreciate you, man. Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie V from U Stadium, or we now know him as Vinny from U Stadium. You also can check out Frankie's work on the Gangs All Here podcast with the New York Post. Nick Shine checks in with a super chat. The Jets have made another move with a contract negotiation without leaks. A lot to critique about AG, but Muji has his staff on lockdown. The leak stuff, I mean, contractual stuff and trades, that stuff kind of gets out, and it's not a big deal. The negative kind of leaks are the ones where it's like, when The Athletic is writing about how Robert Saleh made his coaches put all their cell phones in the middle of the table, trying to figure out who is leaking what to the media. Like, those are the leaks you don't want. Contractual stuff, I mean, there was interest in Minkah that we knew about. Rich Samini wrote about it in one of his news columns that he was a name to watch. So I just don't subscribe to that. I don't think it matters. I think ultimately Muji's proven he's at least competent to this point. And I think a big thing now with Glenn is, can you prove that? You're taking over the defense. You said it's your superpower. You now can tangibly point to you being the guy for the defense turning it around if the defense turns around. Whereas the other side of that is, if the defense doesn't get any better, if they're still underperforming, it's a lot easier to fire him because he took it upon himself after he fired most of his coaching staff after his first year, which other than Hugh Jackson, Glenn's the only one that's done that, where both coordinators are gone after a year. Can you guys hear me? I know my camera just got knocked out here. I don't know what that's about. Hold on. Testing. Whoa. Something's wrong with StreamYard here. But look how good my iPhone camera is. Hey, now. Whoa. Hold on. Let me go to my tech guy while I try and figure this bleep out. We're giving people way too much Jake Asman right now.
Whoa.
Hey, Beast, what do I do?
Restart your restart everything. Go to your audio video internet and do a reset.
There it is. We got it done.
Oh, goody.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in a thrift store. I'm in a thrift store right now. I'm looking for a couple things here. I'm taking little Joey to the vet today. He's gonna go today.
I thought the vet appearance was tomorrow.
Nah, it's too cold. Tomorrow's gonna be colder. It's good. I'm like, today's gonna be perfect. It's 70. It's gonna be 71. Guinea pigs cannot be out in the cold weather. No, it's too dangerous.
Good to know.
I already talked to the doctors. We're doing it today because I already said I got no choice. Because last night he had a little bit of a pneumonia, like on his thing, and I checked it this morning. I was like, this don't sound right. So we're gonna take care of that today. And then right now I'm in the thrift store right now. I'm gonna stop at Fairplay a bit, pick up a few things, and then we're gonna see what happens from here. You know,
all right.
Gotta play it small ball, a little bit of time. Oh, always. And what's called? If your thing goes down again, give me the HU department. Heads up.
All right. Thank you very much to the Beast. All right, load up your calls. Jet fans, how we feeling about the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade? I want to hear from you. We're going to take more of your calls. Legal tampering, a.k.a. the negotiating window, a.k.a. free agency starts 1 hour from right now. My plan is to go live as the Jets make big-time signings, or maybe some trades as well. So keep that in mind. And, of course, be checking back throughout the day. Appreciate everyone in here. We got over 900 of you still watching live. Smash the like button. More importantly, please subscribe to the channel. You're getting more content on this channel than anywhere else. We're at 44,541 subscribers. So a big thank you to everyone who continues to tune in, day out. And hopefully it's a fun off season from a Jet perspective. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we rapid fire through your call. So the link to join the show is currently pinned in the live chat. You click it, you sign in. I'm going to repost it because I understand with the YouTube poll being up, some people can't find it. So again, all you need to do is click the call-in link that is pinned, and let's hear your thoughts on the Minkah deal. We will be right back after these words. Keep it right here. It's Jake Asman with you on Free Agency Monday. Back right after this.
I'm 17 years old. We used to have great parties at my house. My parents always went out. I'm dating this girl, Beth Ryan. So she's saying to me, Neil, New Year's Eve, we're going to have a lot of sex. We're going to do a lot. I'm counting on you.
I stick up for you every fucking time on your ESPN show. What do you put my face on that thing for? What the fuck was that? The fuck was that? It looks like Bobby. Fuck you. Destroy that picture. Fucking happy 2003. I play your great host and look like shit you do to me. Goodbye.
I didn't do this. I said it looks like you. It's Beth Ryan, Neil's former lover that never was.
Here comes JJ. He's here to talk about the Jets. He's putting Justin Fields in the Football Hall of Fame. Here comes JJ. You know he's Gary's biggest fan. He loves cornrows and the crappy Wi-Fi. Here comes JJ. He loves the sound of his voice. Here comes JJ. Most of these calls end bad, so let's get it over with.
Just seconds after seeing the intro, JJ let Gator know exactly what he thought.
That was terrible. I'm disappointed because over the years I've given this show a lot of memorable moments. He had a lot to pull from. Not a fan of that intro.
We're going to go to the playoffs, and if we don't, then I'll cut my hair.
Wait a second. If the Jets don't make the playoffs, you'll cut your hair?
Yeah, I'll cut it all off. I'll just one by one chop it off. Man of my word, I'll stick to it.
A few months later.
When are you shaving your head?
Yeah, okay. Believe that if you want to.
I'm
said
not,
it. So what? I'm not a man of my word. I don't care.
You lied to this community. Why won't you shave your hair? I don't understand.
My wife won't let me do it. She said, that's stupid. You should have never said that. That's not happening.
I'm really going to try to tone it down tonight. Psych.
DS. So, this call is going into the toilet like that football he dropped a few weeks ago. What? No, false.
Dude, if I was in your face, you wouldn't say shit. And you guys want to, like, thrash me.
Don't take the chat overly serious. They're trying to troll you to get you riled up.
Jake, man, I like you, but you can, be problematic in my life. Because you want to make me look like a dumbass. Like I'm, like Beast. Because you want to make me look like a sideshow freak.
You make yourself look like a jackass. I don't have to do that.
Beast is a clown in itself.
Shut your trap. Look, Asperger.
Dude, you live with your mom.
Shut up, bitch, when I speak. 1987's calling for their glasses back.
You're a clown, bro. You're a clown.
You just made me $2. Nate says, thanks for the Sean.
I know. You're making me seem like I'm a sideshow clown. And I'm not.
You do that on your own. I just answer your calls.
You're the ringleader.
Well, it's called the Jake Asman Show. So, yes, by the nature of the title, I am the host of the show.
If you want to talk to me one-on-one, I'll meet you on the boat.
I really don't want to talk to you one-on-one. I think the platform we have here is more than adequate.
Because you're afraid. You're scared. You little redhead bitch.
You've been ripping me in all your comments here.
Because I'm disturbed how things went. When people drink, you know what results of. I'm not stupid like half your audience. My girlfriend even said, you watch so much Jake Asman. I had Jake in my dreams.
You're dreaming about me, Sean?
For real. I love you, Jake. Fuck you. I'm out. Bitches. Fuck you. First of all, I want to apologize to Jake about some message I left him. I was drinking and I said something I didn't mean. I want to drink antifreeze before I talk to you.
I don't know what's more exciting, listening to Chuck Wagon or watching paint dry.
Come on, you're coming after Chuck Wagon now?
That is the most boringest piece of crap on the planet. What a snorfest. Jesus Christ. He is awful.
I'd rather be boring than be an asshole like you.
You're boring, Chuck. I'm rooting for you, Chuck. Chuck, just be a little bit of an asshole.
Italian Christmas cookies.
Who's your helper here?
Mama Wagon.
Wow, that looks tremendous.
It's actually been a really rough year. Jake, I want to thank you
It means the world to me. I am ready for this year to be over with.
Well, Chuck Wagon, you mean a ton to the community, man. So anything that we could do to ever help you, you're part of the family here. I'm glad that you've become, a weekly caller on the show, and, your calls are awesome. They bring us a ton of laughs. Hopefully you keep calling, and, 2026 is a way better year for you than 2025 was.
I hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We're having a draft party. If you haven't heard, we'll see you in Pittsburgh, baby.
Draft Day 2026 live from Pittsburgh. Jets Nation on the clock. Gangrene take Fat McFadden's day and night draft party hosted by the Jay Gasner Show.
Thursday, April 23rd, doors open at noon.
Let's go! Yeah!
RSVP if you're coming. It is free to go to the draft. You can get tickets for free through the NFL, and it's free to attend our draft party. We'll be there all day on Thursday. It's going to be a tremendous time. All right, load up your calls. We are reacting to the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. The Jets have acquired the Dolphins safety for just a 7th-round pick. Good move or bad move? Your thoughts on said move? We say hello right now to this man.
Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets. That boy, he's jamming. He's slamming. Freaking dancing. Wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
What's up, ASMANIACs? How you guys doing today? So let's talk about the Minkah. I can hear you, Jake. Let's talk about the Minkah Fitzpatrick. Let's talk about the Minkah Fitzpatrick move. Good move. I think it was a good move, but we got it done out Pierce. I think the Jets will be on serious if we don't sign Pierce on the free agency market. Let's go. Moochie, and Aaron, Mr. Trust Me, bro, Glenn, can actually sign some good free agency players. Let's be honest, Jake. Because let's say we don't want any of the quarterbacks. Carson Wentz, he should be pumping gas in Jersey somewhere. He's useless. He's boring. He doesn't know what he's doing. Tua as well. He's useless. He's boring. Sucks. He has 50 million concussions a year. Honestly, Jake, what is my matchup with James B? By the way,
you'll never know.
When is the Dangerous Alliance gonna be starting a play? Because I think Beast is gonna be upset by Eleni and ASMANIAC Madness. Good job. You guys want to see me do bench? You guys want to see me benching?
Yes.
ASMANIAC, see if you can see me benching. Can you guys see me with the bench?
Nope.
Let me tell my phone. Can you hear me? See if you see me now. Good job. Can you hear me? Good job. One more. Good job. Were you guys even able to see me on the bench?
Good job.
Thank you.
Hey, give us an Aaron Glenn salsa dance before you go.
This is the Aaron Glenn salsa dance. This is how we're gonna beat James B and ASMANIAC Madness. The salsa dance. If I need to get to my chest workout, go Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Max.
Can you hear me?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Good job.
Thank you very much, Mad Max, for whatever that was. We appreciate it. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. No one is on hold right now, so if you want to call in, now's the time. If not, we'll end our first live stream of what could be many today based on how many transactions the New York Jets make. Again, there's nothing not to like about the Minkah deal. 3 years, $40 million. Let's see what the actual guarantees end up being. But they traded the 7th-round pick for the guy. He's still good. He's a good player. Finished with the 9th best coverage grade and 17th best run grade last year. He's a leader. Teammates love him. Guy's been in the league. He was PFF's 7th highest graded safety. And Darren Muji continues to prove competency. Dixon Yass sent me this. Muji robbing teams, baby. Darren Muji. Minkah, Harrison Phillips, Briggs, and Brownlee, and did not give up more than a 6th-round pick for any of these players. I think you got to be encouraged by that. Jerome writes in, Cappuccino drinks Mad Max to calm down. Gator writes in, if Mad Max went to the gym every day for 20 years, he'd look the same. Nicholas writes in, I don't think Beast has ever been to the gym. Ladies and gentlemen, for more on this, we check in with the man himself.
Fucking diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
We're at the thrift store right now, and again, I found myself one of these bad boys right here. Clint Eastwood. You know who that is? The outlaw of the outlaw is Josie Wales and Pale Wider. So you know which movie we're going to be watching first. The best part of the movie is you always be poor, just like the greasy rat that you are.
What rope are you talking about? This whole team looks like it's shot to shit. Who the hell do you think you are? I am.
Thank you very much, Beast. More of your calls right now. Ralphie Rocks is next. Hello, Ralphie.
Hey, Jake. How are you?
What's up, Ralphie?
Happy about Minkah. That's good.
Good deal. Malachi, too. You got him and Malachi Moore.
I know. We're getting more winners. More Joe Benigno should be happy about that. Guys that were winners in college. I mean, you're getting a former Pro Bowler. I think PFF ranked him as the 5th best safety last year, so close to that, at least top 10. I guess he's towards the tail end of his prime, but I would say he's still in his prime. Good size. He's a good hitter. And he's a ball hawk, so we need that. I mean, so I'm real happy about that. Fresh coming off my loss on Friday, but I rewatched the video, and it was humbling to have a few people say that they liked my call. So it's actually one of the best things about being in this contest, which I was shocked I was being in anyway, was to get some positive feedback, which I don't really need in life, but it is nice and probably will make me call up 1 or 2 extra times, knowing that people think what I have to say is actually pretty deep.
Calling more.
Let's not get crazy. We're not going to be Beast calling in every day. So, but we are working here in the global studios in this household. So, but I think that's good. I mean, for a 7th pick, I mean, we would botch that up and draft somebody terrible. Probably trade that to move up to 6th and get someone even worse. So, like last year's the guy from Miami, the defensive end who didn't do anything. So, really happy with that. Starting off good. I'm happy. Alex Anzalone Day also, by the way. I'm sure we'll hear something later on about that.
1201 Jets and Alex Anzalone have agreed to a 3-year, $21 million contract.
We got to get his jersey up for maybe Tuesday. That's going to be the And the last thing is, I'm so upset I didn't take Beast with me on this 80s cruise. He would have, the guy's still living in the 80s. He would have absolutely loved it. He might have went on stage with Quiet Riot at one point. We could have gotten that on tape. So, all right, Jake. Just wanted to add my 2 cents.
Well,
Good
Ralphie,
day for us.
Great call. Appreciate you. I agree. I think Minkah's a good player. Traded the 7th for him. Didn't give up anything. And the 7th they used was the 7th that they acquired in the Brownlee deal, where they sent the 6th for Brownlee, which was a good deal. Again, let's see if there's other trades like this coming from a Jets standpoint. We didn't have Harrison Phillips on our bingo card in training camp last year when they made that deal, right? So I'm encouraged. Jets have a lot of capital. 2, 16, 33, 44. I would trade pick 44 in a deal to get Brian Thomas Jr. if that deal is out there. I would trade one of my forts to get Brissett as my bridge. I'd trade my 7th from the Bills to get Derek Carr, and I'd have a Carr, Brissett quarterback battle. Cousins is my preferred quarterback. He doesn't want the Jets, or the Jets don't want him. I think it's a mistake, but of the options, that's what I would do. I'd take Kyler because he costs nothing, but I don't believe that Kyler Murray would go to the Jets. I think he'd probably be a backup before he'd be a Jet quarterback. Trying to go somewhere to resurrect his career. To either go to Minnesota, go be the backup for McVay for a year, and then be the top guy a year from now among veteran options. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Got time for one more call unless anyone else calls in. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline right now is the defending champ.
The only thing worse than the New York Jets is cheap-ass shoes and head coach blues. At least we got Muji and some first-round picks. Jake, my brother, I'm trying to get hype, but this team sucks, and Joe Bonesy needs me to sell new flippers to this fat dumpster fire.
Jake, my brother.
Mr. Bonesy.
You know, I didn't get to give Kyle Clifton my platinum. Kyle Clifton!
I can't believe he just showed up at the store. That's epic.
And, you know, as soon as he came here, we had like 5 minutes to talk, and then all of a sudden it was like 5 people came in. I was helping 3 customers, and I was like, all right, Kyle, you should stop more often, buddy. But, you know, unfortunately, Cash Money Mike, no cash will be able to buy you this victory, my boy. Kyle's got this one in the bag. So, but we all know Kyle's a great caller, and he's going to go far in this tournament. So, but now to the Jets, baby. Muji, you know, I'm very interested to see the guaranteed money, because I think that this deal is going to be better financially than we would have had to pay for a Kobe Bryant or one of these really good, you know, safeties that are going to hit free agency. And getting Minkah in that deal is, you know, it's going to be probably like front loaded for the first 2 years. So this is almost like a 2-year deal. And I think financially we're going to be happy with when we start seeing some of these safety contracts that come out. So
I still think they could sign one more safety. There's a lot of safeties out there.
You think we would do another high-priced safety and have 2 of them back there?
I would. Again, the Minkah deal, it's like $13 million AAV, but we'll see what the actual cap hits are for the contract. Like the reason why the Jets extended him is he was not going to play for $15.5 million, which is how much he would have played for in the last year of his deal. Yeah. So I could see them definitely adding another safety. It doesn't cost that much relative to other positions. And if you're the Jets, you have money to spend. You got to spend it.
Yeah, and I guess you could probably see Malachi playing some of that like nickel type, you know, rangy in the box, you know, how Brownlee was playing last year. Because you do want Malachi out there, though, man. He's an extending young rookie that you could probably tell. Well, he's going to be not a rookie this year, but he's an ascending young player that you can tell the more time he's out there, the better he's getting. So that's somebody you want to keep giving playtime to. But free agency is here. I'm very excited to see what we do at quarterback. You just mentioned Brissett and Carr. I would love that, but I wonder, like, I feel Brissett should be in starter talk. Like, I think Brissett could be pulled down to be that nice bridge guy for us. And I think with Carr, he's not going to a team in a quarterback battle. You know, if he's coming to a team, it's going to be because Derek Carr isn't thinking, no matter what we want to say about Derek Carr, he's not coming back into the NFL thinking he's a scrub. He's coming in like, you know, with NFL, you know, championship aspirations. So Carr is coming in thinking like, if I'm going to a team, they're going to need to want me, and they're going to have to tell me that I'm the starter. And, you know, it's going to be like more of a big deal, not like, oh, you're coming into a battle and try to win the starting job. So we'll see how that happens. But Brissett is easily comfortable being a quarterback too. Like, I don't think Brissett in his mind is probably like, oh, I need to be a starter. That's all. You know, obviously it'll be a good thing for him to get that opportunity. But that sounds awesome to me. Those are my 2 guys. I either want Carr or Brissett. So I love that. We're getting so close. It's 11:20.
That's why I'd have a competition for them. I'd bring in both, and I'd say let them compete for the starting job.
I don't think they could say that publicly. I don't think that Derek Carr would want to come to the team that's saying
no one's giving him a starting job, though, Bones. He has no choice. If he wants to play football, he's going to have to win a job. Baker Mayfield had to compete for a job in Tampa. He's not. Sam Darnold had to win the job in Minnesota. Then McCarthy got hurt anyway, so it didn't matter. Like, no one is handing Derek Carr a starting job. He's not good. He hasn't proven he's good. So, and he didn't play last year. So he's going to have to earn the opportunity.
Well,
Same
what
with
was the
Brissett.
contract with the Saints before Carr got, injured his shoulder?
He has a year left on it. I'm pretty sure. And he reworked it for them too. Let's see what it actually was when he retired.
Because I don't know. I think we're thinking that Derek Carr is worse than he is just because he didn't play and because he was injured in his last season with the Saints, so he didn't really get because I don't know. I just think Carr's money before he signed with the Saints and all that stuff is like in a different direction how we're acting, what type of quarterback he is. Because I like Derek Carr. I think he's a solid. He can give us a nice 25 and 36. And I'll take that any day for the Jets because we don't hit 20 touchdowns and 3,000 yards often. So, but
I'd take him with someone else. I'm not just handing him. He didn't play last year, and so now he's going to be more susceptible to injury without playing a full
maybe
year.
you're right. Maybe since he didn't play last year and he's coming off a big injury, maybe he'll be more comfortable coming in with the expectation that you have to win the competition to play. But
Who again, Bonesy? Who is going after Derek Carr? There's not one team linked to him besides the Jets.
You're right. Maybe I'm just
Your perception of Derek Carr is that he's a lot better than he actually is.
Well, you guys all told me that moving off of Aaron Rodgers was a good idea.
Not me. I wanted him back.
If Rodgers was still here with us, he'd be the best option out of any of these quarterbacks we're trying to play. And you combine that with Devontae Adams would still be here. And I don't even want to go into that because I hate the decision.
That's a year ago. It's over.
You're right. But I guess I'm a little big on Carr. You guys know I'm the bootlegger. I've already announced it three weeks ago. So let's just see once we sign him, and then all the you and Buffalo Jet fan and all the Shine and everybody starts deep diving on his stats. You'll start seeing, man, this guy has 28 fourth quarter comeback wins. That's most in since entering.
Again, I would take Derek Carr, but I don't want to just hand him a starting spot like you do. I want him and Brissett. I want competency at the position, and Brissett is competent. Carr can be, assuming he's healthy.
All right, last scenario. If Minnesota or Miami or the Cardinals and us, he was trying to decide between who to come, but he wanted to know he was going to be the starter. Derek Carr, would you do that? And he has other teams that are looking at him. And he's like, listen, if I'm coming in there, I got to know that I'm the starter. Would you be comfortable with that? Would you rather be like, no, if you're coming here and you want to be the starter, I'm going with Mariota or or Wentz or Gino.
Wait, what are my options again?
If Derek Carr wants to come here, he wants to know he's starting games and that you're going to win, or he's not coming. And you have to go with Mariota or Wentz or Gino or Tua or one of these other guys.
I'll take those guys. What has Derek Carr done that I got to just hand him the starting job? He's not that good, man. What did you watch with Derek Carr?
On a platter, baby. If he's telling me he's healthy, he's the best option we got. It's clear to me.
But again, he didn't play football. He didn't play football. We don't know if he's healthy. He was supposed to have surgery. He never did because he retired. How do we know he's healthy?
Because he's coming back. He's not going to come back if he's not healthy. What do you think? He's looking for a payday? He's a religious family.
The guy on the Lions tried to come back too last year. Frank Ragnow? And then he couldn't pass the physical. He had an injury they didn't know. We don't know if he's fully healthy.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We're so close. So now we can start talking about this stuff because I really I want Brissett or Carr as our guys. With you give me a Dalton or Wentz or one of those guys is like the backup, and then we draft a rookie. That's my dream right there. So let's see what happens. We got a couple 35 minutes before 12 o'clock hits, and this shit gets serious, baby. I'm excited.
Bonesy, if they sign Carr, I will root for him because he can be competent if he's healthy. But I think you love Derek Carr, man. It's crazy.
I just love throwers of the football, man. I just want a guy who can come in and go through his progressions. Frank Reich has this decision, so we're going to know we're gonna know what type of quarterback he's looking for, and I'm excited, man. This is the time, baby, to be excited. We always win off season, baby. Let's go.
Bonesy, you're the man. Great job with Kyle Clifton this morning. Comments, questions, super chats, last chance to get in. Paul is our closer. Hello, Paul.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, Paul? How are you?
Good, man. Good flight. No delays. Home. Cranking out some email, playing catch up, but all good. I love Bonesy. I actually got to go stop by a store when I'm in the city, but
Hell
I do
yeah.
not agree. I do not agree with Derek Carr at all. And I still think it's wide open. I really do. Just based off what Muji's been doing, I love the pick. He just got us, and he seems to be a lot better at filling the voids than we had in recent general management. And I think that's probably going to be the most important thing. You know, if we just improve at every position, say 25%, that's 25% better chance we have of winning the games that were close. I just think if we could put something on the field that's not embarrassing, I don't think they're going to mess this quarterback thing up. I just don't. I really like, you know, we used to in Douglas, we trust and all that. But at the end of the day, Douglas made some good moves and he made some really bad ones. And one of his bad moves was he didn't address some of the small things, right? Like a backup quarterback. And that's not even a small thing, actually. But I think they know how important the quarterback position is. I'm still going to lean on some faith here and think that they're going to make sure that they do what's best for the team, because it seems like they're really actually doing that this time. I know we win the offseason every year. I get it. But I think they all know, especially Mooj. I know Glenn's sidekick, to me, BS. I mean, at the end of the day, Muji knows that, like, if he doesn't do the right thing here and Johnson gets stupid and fires him too, he's going to pick up another job right away. So I think he's going to still have a big say in the matter. And that's what I've been banking on. I've been telling everybody, our key is Muji. I mean, we need him to be one of the best GMs in the league and get to keep him moving forward for decisions. And I think he's going to do the right thing the best we can. I mean, we really don't have options at the end of the day. We've been discussing it now for months. There's no slam dunk definite like it was with Rodgers, right? You said that on the show before. There's no path, but I do believe whatever path they take is going to be something that's going to be solid at the end of the day. And I just don't see it being Derek Carr. And if it is Derek Carr, they damn well better have a Jacoby Brissett. I mean, you
got to have more than one option. If you're bringing in a guy who didn't play football last year, you can't just sign Carr and be like, all right, we're good.
Yeah, and I got this new box. It's like a scrambler. And I got to watch a lot of different NFL games last year. I'm busy. I work a lot, right? I try to jump on the show, and I donate all the time when I can because I love the show. And I watch every single show. I watch everyone, even if it's not live, right? But the scrambler had me watching a lot of games for fantasy, right? And I had tight ends, the tight end for fantasy from Arizona. What's it? Wilson. Who's a tight end that's just a stud? I'm drawing a brain fart. I do that when I'm rambling. But I got
from Arizona.
Yeah, I got to watch
McBride. Yeah, Trey
McBride.
McBride.
I had McBride, and I got to watch him a lot. And I'll tell you what, he is not like an oh my God quarterback, but he is solid. Like, you know, he could throw the ball, scramble a little bit. He makes plays. He's not gonna win you games, but he's not gonna lose you games. I would love that Brissett personally. I don't know if we're gonna get him. And again, like there are gonna be. I know I've said it 10 times already. I'm sticking to it. There's gonna be certain spots where we are gonna have to overspend. I think we need to remember that, right? Like the pick we just did, 7th round. That's a no-brainer. The guy's a solid safety, right? So I have a lot of faith this time coming around. I know we always win the offseason, but eventually we're going to actually win the offseason, right? Like it's going to actually play into the year. I still think we're going to do very well with filling a lot of the voids with Muji, and then we're going to really get to see how competent the coaching is this year. And that's really all I got. You know, I usually don't ramble on, but to all my fans for the voice. I give them one to go.
Love it, Paul. But we'll see what
and-
they do. Again, it's a good start with this deal. Because as Paul said, and we've said, it's a 7th-round pick that they got in the Brownlee deal that they gave a 6th-round pick for and got a 7th back. So, look, this was a salary dump for Miami. They're up against it cap-wise. They're going to absorb Tua's $99 million dead cap hit over the next 2 years, which is an NFL record. I think it's a very good trade by the Jets. Breaking news, Kelsey expected to return to the Chiefs, by the way. I don't think anyone's surprised about that. So we'll keep everyone posted on the news throughout the day, jet-wise. 30 minutes from now, players can start to be signed. I would expect the Jets to make 1 or 2 notable signings today, but we'll see. It could be into the wee hours of the night, too. You never know with free agency. NYC to SRQ says, where are my bracket busters out? Vote Cash Money Mike. Cash Money Mike. Can he mount the comeback? Probably not. 75-25. Kyle Clifton is dominating. But, Mike, you won a Asmaniac Madness battle in the play-in. You've become a really good caller. Hopefully you call in more, and I promise you won't be a 16th seed if you're a regular part of the show over the next year. Hakeem the Dream says, Derek Carr's trash, garbage time, stat stud. I think Carr is very okay. But he hadn't played in a year. I don't like signing a guy and just anointing him the starter when he hasn't played football in a year. Make him earn the job. I don't have a problem bringing in Carr. It wouldn't cost you a lot. But if you're going to bring in Derek Carr, you need to have someone else competing with him. Carr and Geno competing, fine. Carr and trading a 4th comp for Jacoby Brissett, fine. That was Frank Reich's offense. But I think Carr is more in play than people realize. One, there's the connection with his quarterback coach. You know, people understand that. But there's also a connection with the fact Frank Reich, when he was the head coach of the Panthers, brought in Derek Carr for a visit. So there's that relationship through that. They were interested in him then. All right, I said Paul was going to be the closer, but Johnny Boy is on the line. He's our last caller today. What's up, Johnny?
Yo, what up, Jake? How you holding up, man?
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, let me ask you real quick. With the move with Fitzpatrick, I mean, it's good. Don't get it twisted, right? But for you, do you think that this is the move? Like, you know, there's been a lot of noise out there talking about that we're going to tank and it's going to be a tank season. Do you think this move is about them trying to tank, or is it a good move for them?
Do I think the move is about the Dolphins tanking?
No, about the Jets tanking, right?
The Jets aren't tanking. The Jets are trying to win games.
Exactly. So with that being said, which move do you think is going to be the next big splash? You think, is it going to be a linebacker, or do you see it being an offensive weapon?
I think that they're going to make a big splash defensively. Linebacker, defensive end, defensive tackle. I don't think they're going to swim in the Alec Pierce waters. And what other offensive splash could they make? Linderbaum? They're not going to sign him.
You knew where I was going, bro. Dude, I would give that man everything, dog. Just
Falcons targeting Tua, by the way. That'd actually be pretty interesting because he gets to play indoors, weaker division. They got good skill players. That'd be interesting as Tua and Michael Penix battling it out.
100%. Hey, the Fitzpatrick move was good. We needed it, but I agree with you. I still feel like we need to get another one. Dude, I would love Brian Cook, bro, if they could get that. And then move in Malachi into the nickel like they were talking about. Why not? It would be great. But, dude, I am not excited about any of the quarterbacks that are out there. That's why when people are just straight, like, you know, trashing a Carr or trashing a Jacoby Brissett, I'm like, yo, it's a lot better than what we have right now in that damn quarterback room itself. So, Jake, appreciate you, brother, man. Keep doing your thing. I mean, 20 more minutes? Hopefully we hear some other crazy news that comes on for the New York Jets. And, hey, I want to win, man. So let's win. Go Jets.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Moves are happening, folks. Free agency officially getting underway in a little more than 20 minutes, about 25 minutes. We'll be live when the Jets make some transactions. If not, we'll be live again in a few hours, kind of recapping what's happening and what the latest reports are on what the Jets might be doing. I want to thank everyone who tuned in today. We got a super chat at the buzzer here. Spencer Green in our weekly raffle for 2. Thank you, Spencer. I collect Jet sports cars. Sports Cards. It's prime time, Jake. I need your help laying my pride down. Give me who of the QBs available you think the Jets get. I could buy now for much cheaper than when they sign. I still think Carr and Brissett are in play. Sounds like Geno is in play. If the Dolphins were to sign Malik Willis, Spencer, then it sounds like Geno would then be the choice for the Jets. Geno would rather go to Miami than the Jets. He's from South Florida. No state income tax. Good weather. I don't blame him. I'd look in the Carr and Brissett. I just think the Jets are going to add someone who's established. Now, Wentz could be one of them too. I don't love that at all. But we'll see. Bonesy, let's just roll the fields again. Tap into that potential. QBs always come here and thrive. Oh, yeah. Look, I think my dream scenario, and it's kind of sad saying dream when we're talking about these mediocre options. I think I'd be on board with Carr and Brissett quarterback battle and draft Ty Simpson in the second round. Kind of how I look at it. Bino says Tua makes sense for Atlanta, 2 lefty QBs. Good point, Bino. Good point. All right. We'll be back this afternoon. We could be back in 20 minutes if the Jets sign Alex Anzalone at 12:01. Who knows? Want to thank all of you who tuned in. You guys are the best. Couldn't do this show without the support of the ASMANIAC community. The Jets have already made a notable move. Minkah Fitzpatrick is a Jet. As soon as the video ends, comment down below your thoughts on the deal. Are you on board with Minkah to the New York Jets? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. But before we get out of here, we got to close the voting in ASMANIAC Madness, our first round of 64 battle. And the winner, no surprise here, the #1 seed in the tournament, Kyle Clifton is your winner. He wins by a final of 75-25, and 666 people voted in the opening battle. Clifton 75, Cash Money Mike 25. Kyle Clifton will take on the winner of the 8-9 battle this afternoon, featuring Rob the Jet Fan and Allen. So tune in for that. It will be electric. Again, great attempt by Cash Money Mike. Shout out to Kyle Clifton getting it done. That does it for me. JETS, Jets. We will talk to you guys soon.
Good job. Why'd you piss out of the window?
Look, you little asshole.
Can you throw 15 bunches? Let's see.
Yeah,
Can you even throw 15 bunches like I am?
You want to see what your world's going to be? Your face right here. Crushed.
But this is going to be us in the dangerous lines that we beat. So be like,
I'm the bigger man around here. You're just a little pug.
You're just jealous.
Oh, you're right.
Do a front kick, please. Do a front kick. Do a front kick. See if you can kick her.
Yeah,
compare a front kick.
Get out of here.
I
need to cool off before I do something a little Jurassic.
What the fuck is wrong? You can't cook in the attic. Just don't do it anymore, all right? Okay, we need a leader of the Dark Alliance. That video introduced me to a new term, stringing the cheese. I never heard of that shit before.
No, me neither.
I was just stringing the cheese.
No one's judging you. Any port in the storm.
And a little scrape there. And there's a little cut there. Yeah, that's pain. What have I been taking to do that with? Vaseline. The only thing I can basically afford. Hey, trust me.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.